3. Today we're going to do a full body mat, and thank you so much for watching and donating. I appreciate it as always. So, become a sitting. I'm going to start with the feet kind of together, bottoms of the feet together, the knees are to the sides. And I'm going to take my arms pinky edge down and press into the tops of the knees there. And I'm going to use that pressure down into the back of the arms and the middle of the back. So I'm feeling a little bit of a hug between the shoulder blades. I'm going to use that to lift my chest a little taller and grow up out of the lower back there. And then I'm just going to start to gently pull that belly button back towards the spine, creating that nice round flexion in the upper back. But then I'm going to find the back of the arms once more to lift the chest up, maybe even finding a little bit of that extension. And again, rolling through the spine, belly pulls back, and pressing down to lift up. And again, tucking the tail. And pressing down to lift up. Keep that sensation of the shoulder blades pulling down the back of the body as you float the arms now up overhead, maybe even allowing the chest to get a little bit taller. Then I'm going to open the arms out to the side, feeling my triceps on the side of the body turn on. And I'm going to use the belly and pull the knees and the arms together, finding a nice little ab curl here. But then reach through the fingertips, knees go apart, fingertips go up. And we press out to the side, pressing down into the arms. And then again, rounding the spine back, fingertips pull forward, belly pulls back, reach through the fingertips to lift the chest forward and upward. And then out to the side. And again, rounding back. This time we're going to go a little bit further down. I might even get my lower back down and heavy, but then rebuild the spine. Ribs to hips all the way up, lifting tall through the chest. One more like that. Pulling arms and legs together, rounding the spine down in space, but then curving through. All the way up. Hold at the top here. We're going to add in a little bit of rotation. So I'm going to leave my left arm go out to the side, right arm goes forward to twist my rib cage around the spine, and then back up through center. And other side. Right arm out, looking towards the right, chest opens. And up through center. One more on each side, pressing down into the sides of the arms. And up. And again, press. And up. From here, I'm going to roll just slightly back. Arms go forward, and let's add in that rotation here. So my right fingertips reach forward. My left arm reaches backward. And then I move through center. My inner thighs are squeezing together. And again, left arm reaches forward. Right arm reaches backward. And return it. And hold. Other side. Out. And center. To the right. And center. Find here. Hold the hands behind the head. Try that rotation with the arms up. It's a little bit more challenging, so I'm going to twist my right ribs towards my left hip. And center. Other side. Left ribs towards the right hip. And center. To the left, this time we're going to hold, we're going to roll back in space and take 5 little ab curls for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Move through center, see if you can go straight into the other side. So left ribs towards the right hip and curling up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to find center. Now I'm going to curl all the way up, let the legs straighten. I'm going to flex my feet. If that's too much for you today, just take a soft bend in the knee. And then from here, I'm just going to rotate to the left and then feel my right elbow come down to the outside of the right leg. And then pull up through the belly to grow the spine tall. Other side, so I'm twisting to the right. And then feeling my left elbow towards the outside of the left leg. And then rebuild the spine, pushing the head back into the hands and sit tall. We repeat again. Rotating to the left, but then the right elbow comes down to the outside of the right leg. Rebuild the spine to sit quite tall. One more, rotating. Feel the belly pull back. All the way down. And rebuild. From here, I'm going to reach the arms forward, pull the belly button backward, and start to roll the spine down one bone at a time. I'm going to reach my arms slightly back in space. You can go all the way back if you have the room. And then nod the head forward, fingertips forward. I'm pushing down into the back of my legs here, guys, to come all the way up to the top. And we're just going to take a little bit of a stretch forward. I'm letting the spine I'm going to tap my fingertips down, and I'm going to lift them right back up in line with the ears and begin again. Tucking the tail, articulating the spine, one bone at a time. I'm squeezing my inner thighs together, arms reach back, and then drift forward. Kicking down into the back of my hamstrings, nodding the head forward, ribs sink towards my hips, curling deeper the ribs to come all the way up. And I'm going to keep this lifting sensation up and over my thigh bones. And again, rounding through the spine, one bone at a time, all the way down. This time we're going to hold up into a nice little ab curl. So I'm going to curl up, reaching my fingertips forward. And now I'm going to turn the palms to face down. I'm going to bend my knees slightly and drag my heels and then hold. From here, I'm going to take the hands behind the head and I'm going to open the knees and the toes, but then close them back. Curling deeper up into my ribs here, keeping that lower back down. Really pushing into the outside of the thighs, but then squeezing them back together. And again. And close. Keep curling deeper into the ribs. And close. Last one. And close. Lower the head, neck, and chest. Inhaling in. Exhale, we begin again. So we're going to nod the head forward, leave the head heavy in the hands, just find that deep ab curl. Now single leg. I'm going to let one leg, so my left leg is going to go out to the side without disturbing the stability in the pelvis. Then we're going to turn it back up. And then other side. Right knee and toe out. And center. And again left. And center. Right. And center. Left. And center. Right. And center, one more on each side, and center, closing it out, and then I'm going to roll back in space. Inhale in, exhale, curl up, and hold. From here, I'm going to squeeze the legs together, reach the fingertips out in space, and see if I can curl deeper up into the ribs, all the way up to sitting. For a little bit of this bent leg roll down, and then again. So I'm going to tuck my tail, rolling down, one bone at a time, kicking down into the heels. Hands go behind the head. And again, curling deeper. Fingertips reach forward to curl the spine upward. Sitting tall at the top now, but then rolling back. Tucking that tail under. Hands go behind the head. One more like this, curling deeper. See if you can kick down to come up. Sitting tall, opening the chest perhaps, and then rolling down into space. Good. Arms are going to reach forward, legs are going to extend out. From here, I'm going to float my left leg up towards the ceiling. As I do so, I'm feeling kind of my lower back get heavy and down, so I'm piking that thigh bone towards my chest. Then I'm going to lower it down, tap the ground, and again, lifting up, and pressing down. And again, lift, and down. Take one more, and down. Now other side, I'm going to kick down into my left side. Right leg lifts, and press, and lift. Keep curling towards that thigh bone. So as the thigh bone comes towards you, you move towards it. One more here, and up, and down. Lower the head, neck, and chest down. Inhaling in, exhale, let's curl up and hold, add in some rotation. So I'm going to take my hands behind the head for this. I'm going to float my left leg up. As I do so, I'm going to twist towards it. So my right ribs comes towards my left hip. I'm going to contract that hamstring, bend the knee, turning center as the leg goes out, down along the mat. And again, I come up, I twist towards that left leg, bend the knee there, send it down and out through center. 3 more up, twist and contract. Bend the knee, send it out. 2 more, twist and contract. Find the mat and center. Last one, up, contract, bend and through. Leave the hands behind the head, lower the head, neck, and chest down. We have another side. Inhaling in. Exhale, curl up into the ab curl and hold. The right leg is now going to come up. I'm going to twist my left ribs towards that right hip. I contract that right hamstring, lower down towards the mat, find center. And again, up, twist towards that leg, bend, and send it away. 3 more, up, and twist, bend, and away. Up, and twist, bend, and away. Last one, up, and twist, bend, and away. Lower the head, neck, and chest down. Arms can come down alongside you on the mat. We're gonna walk the feet in towards the hips for a little bit of bridging. So I'm gonna push down into the back of the arms, find my shoulder blades hugging together. I'm gonna start to sink my belly down and pull the heels towards your tailbone so that the back of the leg turns on. And try to create space between the vertebrae. As we lift the hips up, keep pushing down into the arms, opening the front of the body. Take an inhale at the top, exhale, soften through the neck and the collarbone and the breastbone. Work your way down, getting heavy through the ribs, and then finally through the lower back until your hips arrive down. Pay attention that you're keeping equal weight between both feet. It's easy, I think, for most people want to drift to the outside edges of the feet, so try to make sure there's center between your second and third toes. Keep pushing down into the back of the body, and then rolling down and through. Inhaling in. Exhale, we begin again. Tuck the tail, scoop the belly, lifting the hips up, finding the back of the legs. Now try to create a longer spine on the way down. So I'm feeling the back of the head reaching away, tailbone in the opposite direction. 2 more, nice and easy like this. Rolling through, lifting the hips maybe a little higher this time. Just keep that rib-hip connection in the front of the body, and then dripping that spine back down. On our next one, we're gonna hold at the top. So I'm gonna push down into the back of the arms, collarbone stays wide, the spine peels up, hold. I'm now gonna flex my feet, and I'm gonna push my balls of my feet down and lift my heels. Flex, lift the toes, point, lift the heels. Let's take 6 more, and flex, up, and point. 5 more, up, flex. All the while, tune in, make sure you're trying to get that tuck of the tail in the seat. If you need to do this in the baby bridge, that's also a good option. Not sure what number we're on. We'll take 2 more, and flex. Last one, up, and flex. I'm going to keep the flex feet now as I roll the spine back down. Now I'm going to go into some single leg work. If that's too much for you today, stick with double leg, yeah? So I'm going to push down into the back of the arms, peeling the spine up, hold the hips high. I'm going to shift my weight into the right leg so that my left leg can lift up. And I'm going to tap that heel down for 5, and up, 4, up, 3, up, 2, up, last one. I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna roll the spine down, 1 bone at a time, and then roll it back up and hold. I'm gonna reach my left leg up straight, and now I lower the straight leg down for 5, and up, 4, and up, 3, up, 2, up, last one, to the top. Reach the heel up towards the ceiling as the spine lowers the hips down towards the mat. I'm going to contract that left leg, so my left heel presses down, right leg lifts up. From here, take an inhale in. Exhale, let's roll that spine up. Hold that right leg high. I'm going to tap it down for 5, and 4, and 3, 2, keep standing strong, opening the front of that left hip. Hold it up, lower the spine down once. Inhaling in, exhale, rolling back up, hold, extend that right leg out, and now we lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. I'm going to hold at the top, reach up through that right heel bone to lower the spine back down. Nice. So then I'm going to bend both knees in towards me, Take a little bit of a rock from side to side. And I'm going to extend my arms out, find tabletop with my legs. Take a little bit of rotation here. So I'm going to squeezing the thighs together, I'm going to let both legs drift over to the right. I'm going to look to my left as I do that. And use your belly, squeeze the thighs to come back through center. Other side, so I look to my right, legs go to my left. Use the belly, back through center. One more on each side. Knees to the right. Keep that opposite shoulder down, through center, and over, and center. From here, I'm going to reach both arms up. And now I'm going to let both arms go to the left as my legs go to the right. So we're challenging it a little bit differently than the belly brings everything back through center. And again, arms go to the right, hips go to the left, up through center. One more on each side like this. Rotate, and center. Last one. And center, we're going to up the ante again. So from here, I'm going to curl up into my ab curl and hold. I'm going to let both legs drift to the right. Now I'm going to send them out, down, and away from you, really pushing, keeping this left shoulder open. And then I pike both legs up towards, find center, bend the knees other side. So I let both legs drift to the left. I'm going to fight to send both legs along away from me, pike the legs back up on that diagonal, and then send everything back center. Bend the knees to the right, out, send them away, pike at the hip there, through center, bend, over, out, pike, through center. Keep the legs up, lower the head, neck, and chest down. I'm going to flex the feet, take an inhale in. Exhale, curl up into your ab curl and hold. I'm going to move the left foot behind the right and tap the toe to the heel. I'm going to lower this shape down. I'm squeezing my legs together into the midline. And then I'm going to come in and lift my hips up. And I'm lowering down. Only as far as you can keep that spine heavy. Everything squeezes together to come up. I'm going to take 3 more here. I find these when done properly to be quite difficult though. So if you need to go with a smaller range of motion, please do so. Last one. Curling up. I'm going to move back to tabletop. Lower my head, neck, and chest. Inhaling in. Exhale, we curl up. We have another side. Straighten the legs. Right toe comes right behind the left. I attach those together, squeeze the thighs. I'm going to lower that down in space. And that whole shape comes up, a little reverse hip lift. And again, lowering down, but then lifting up. Take 3 more. And if you need to, take the hands behind the head. If you're feeling that it's going too much in the neck. Last one. And up. Center. Tabletop. Arms come alongside the body and hold. We're going to go into a little bit of that roll over. So I'm going to point my feet for this. I want us to begin kind of differently, where we just let the legs fold towards the body now. So I'm relaxing the hip flexors and the weight of the legs in. Now, using my own abdominals here, I'm going to tuck the tail, pulling my lower belly down towards the mat, push down into the back of the arms to lift the spine up overhead. At the top, I do want you to squeeze your seat and find a little bit of lift so we're not collapsing down. And then from there, fight this. Fight to keep the same space, the same relationship between your thigh bones and your torso as you roll the spine back down. Tabletop. Then we're going to let the legs fold in towards the chest, so relax those hip flexors. Push down into the back of the arms. Use your belly to lift up. Find that tweeze in the seat, so I'm activating the glutes and hamstrings to get that lift. And then fight gravity all the way down. One bone at a time. Good. One more like this. So I'm going to let the legs fold in towards my body, push down into the hands and the arms to lift up, find the belly, Then from here, we're gonna take some ab work actually. So I'm gonna let both legs straighten up, and then I'm gonna bend them and add a little bit of twist. And then I straighten up through center and a little twist. And again, up and twist, up and twist. Last one, up, fold in half, flex those toes. And then rolling down through the spine. I'm gonna reach through my fingertips. So as my hips come down, I curl up into an ab curl. I'm gonna bend my knees and find almost like teaser. So in teaser, we want to keep our lower belly point in and up to give that, we're not collapsing into the lower back, but I'm keeping my collarbones wide. From here, I'm going to start to pull the knees back towards me, pulling my lower belly in towards my mat. I'm going to press my arms down, fold in, up and over, flex the toes. Keep kicking upward towards the ceiling as you roll down. Nod the head forward, coming up into our tabletop teaser here. And then again, so I'm pulling the belly button back, keeping my shoulders down, pressing down into the arms to go up and over, flexing the toes, tweezing the seat, one bone at a time. All the way down, last one, reaching through the fingertips, up into teaser, hold. From here, we're gonna rotate. So I'm gonna open my left arm out, but then find center. And the right arm out, and center. Left arm out, and center. Last one out, and center. I'm gonna reach the right leg up, the left leg up, and then carefully with control, I'm gonna lower that shape down. Good. Separate the feet about hip distance. Let's stretch that out. I'm gonna take the hands behind the head. I'm gonna pull with my thumbs back up behind my ears, so I'm getting traction up out of my spine. And I'm gonna let the weight of my elbows, the weight of my arms hang down on my head to pull my spine into a bit of a stretch. And I'm gonna lift up through the belly, up through the spine, pushing my head back into my hands. And again, nodding the head forward. Let the weight of the arms pull you into that stretch. And then rebuild. Pushing back. Let's add in some extension. So I'm going to roll the spine down. Okay, from here, I'm going to dive a little bit more forward and then feel my shoulder blades pull together, elbows get wider to create that long diagonal of the spine, and return to sitting. And again, I'm going to round the spine up and over, diving forward. Extend, find that middle of the back to come up. One more like this, over. Round, extend, and up rotation. So I'm going to twist to the left. I'm going to dive up and over my left thigh bone, getting that round shape. Feel the shoulder blades pull together to extend out and up. Other side to the right. Belly pulls back. Up and over the right thigh. Extend out and up to the left. Rounding up and over. Extending out and up and through. Last one, over, out, up, through, and relax. So it's kind of laying on our sides actually. Quick round on the side here. So I'm going to bring both feet and my legs are together. I'm going to lay all the way down on my bottom arm. My top arm or hand is just stabilizing. And I'm going to pull up through, in particular, my lower belly here. I'm going to start just by, I'm still thinking of lifting up the lower side away from my mat, so I'm not just hanging out. I have a little bit of lift there. And then I'm going to see if I can challenge that by lifting both legs up in space. As I do this, I'm really feeling those inner thighs are squeezing. And of course, my belly is helping me to activate that lift. We're going to take two more. Last one, we're going to hold, leave the top leg where it's at, just lower the bottom leg, and then both legs meet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, I'm gonna let the bottom foot come forward, attach it, just like we did before. So the heel to the toe, and now this whole shape is gonna lift. So we'll take 6 more. 5, 4. So my feet are in one line here, guys. 2 more. Last one, hold. Bring the legs in line. Bend your bottom knee and let it hang out. Top leg stays where it's at. From here, I'm gonna turn that top leg inward and take some lifts into the side of the hip. I'm gonna reach my top arm up. I'm gonna hold steady. I'm really reaching that leg long and away from me. Taking some little circles. I'm really trying to contract and activate my glute and hamstring, especially as I push to the back, without losing that belly connection in the front of the body. And now reverse. Couple more. Hold. I'm going to bring the leg now forward of the body and then send it to the back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Last one, forward, hold. Now from here, I'm going to think about the pinky edge of my foot is going to reach up towards the ceiling and then return it back down. And again, lift. So I'm really finding that glute med, glute med to lift that leg up. Let's take one more. We're going to turn into a little bit of a stretch. So from here, I'm going to actually turn to slurp this leg down into the socket. Then I'm going to lift it back up towards the ceiling to come onto my side. And again, I'm going to pull this hip down, bringing my other leg back center. And then I'm going to lift it up and stretch. And again, pull. So it's a little bit of ab work, a little bit of stretch. Lift it and hold. Take one more in. Lift it. Hold. Bring the leg right down in front of the body. And we lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg in line, bend it, and then push yourself on up. I'm going to cross that leg we just worked in front of the body. I'm going to push into my own hands and then let that top hip kind of drop down in towards your mat. I'm lifting my chest a little taller, feeling that stretch on the outside of the leg. If I rotate towards the leg, I get a bit more. Whatever works for you for today. And we'll take our other side. So I'm going to send both legs out and away. I'm laying long on my bottom arm. Both legs are kind of glued together and they are parallel. I'm using my top arm for stability, and then I pull my belly up away from the mat and lift both legs up. And again. Squeezing those inner thighs, feeling that belly button, pulling back and in. And then hold both legs up. Now the bottom leg lowers and lifts. Couple more. Hold it up. Bring that top leg forward and attach it to your top toe. Now the whole shape lifts for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that up. Bring everything back in line and then bend your bottom knee to find the mat. I'm going to leave the top leg where it is. I'm rotating that foot and toe inward. And I'm going to take some lifts into the side of the hip here. As always, if you feel this going into the front of the leg, just turn that leg a little bit more internally rotated so that we're getting the side of the hip is what I'm most interested in for you for now. Hold, take some circles. As you go to the back in particular, I'm really finding that connection between the glute and the hamstrings. And reverse those circles. Good. From here, I'm going to take this leg forward. And now I'm thinking about moving through the pendulum. So the lower belly pikes the leg towards the chest. The back of the leg, the glute and hamstrings, opens the front of the hip. And then bring the leg forward. Now the peaky edge of the foot is going to lift us all the way up to the ceiling, and then return it back down. And again, lift. And down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Couple more. Then we'll try those very strange kind of rotations. So from here, you can take your hands behind the head to find your ab curl and pull this hip down towards your mat there. Then I'm gonna let everything twist back, finding my belly, opening the hip to the side. And again, pulling back, find that rotation, pulling the leg towards me, and then sending it out and up. Again, twist, pulling back, pressing, and opening. Last one, with control. Lift and open. We bring that leg forward in space. And we take those 10 little leg lifts, 8 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg right in line. Bend the knee in. Push your way on up. Cross that leg over. I'm going to grab the outsides of that knee with my hands and then let that hip sink down in towards your mat, lifting the chest upward and tall. I like to find a little bit of rotation now towards the leg. Good. All right, guys, we're going to finish out with, we're going to be alternating back and forth between variations of swan and plank. They're going to increasingly get harder, and if at any point that's not a good choice for you, then stick with an earlier version for sure. So we're going to start just with some baby swan actually. So I'm going to reach my fingertips back, palms are facing up. I'm going to kick my own tops of my feet down into the mat, and then I'm going to pull my belly up and in so I get a nice long lower back here. And then from there, I'm going to think about that my arms belong to the back of the body. So I'm feeling that upper arm bone rotate to open the collarbones, and then reach towards your toes, but do not lose that belly connection here. Just opening the chest a little bit and returning back down. The arm bones kind of drop forward. But then we begin again by arms belong to the back of the body, shoulder blades pull together, belly pulls up and in, fingertips reach towards the toes, opening the chest and lowering down. And again. So the whole body is actually involved here, not just the back and not just the arm. So next one we're going to hold, and I'm going to open my arms out to a T shape. Now I'm going to think about my pinky edges of the hands reaching back towards my hips to lift my chest higher, but then returning back to the T shape. And again, finding that little baby swan and back. 3 more. And back, creating our own tension in our body. So I'm really contracting my triceps, feeling the middle of the back work. And return. Last one, hold. Lift a little higher, pick that belly up. I'm going to float the arms out to the side, bend the elbows in. Push back into our all fours position. And we're going to send one foot back, tuck that tail forward and under. Stand strong in both hands to lift both feet up. We're going to start just by flexing both heels back towards the mat, but then pointing the chest moves forward and through the fingertips. And again, pushing back into the legs and lifting. Take one more flex and point. And then we're going to flex the feet down, lift the hips up, Send the chest through the arms, pushing the mat away, and we return it down. Let's repeat that again. So I'm going to flex the feet back and point the toes. And again, flex and point the toes. Flex, point the toes. Drop the heels back, send the hips up, chest moves forward. Take that deep stretch. I think one more. So I'm going to flex and point. All the while my belly's pulling up and in, so I'm not letting my spine collapse. That would be incorrect, at least from my point of view. And up. Last one, we push back. Take a little bit of that stretch in the back of the legs. And then come down to one knee and then the other, all the way down to swan once again. We're going to add in a bit of rotation now. So I'm actually going to ask you to take the hands. For me, I like going a little bit wider than the mat. I'm going to start with the left hand behind the back of the head. So I'm pushing the bottoms of my feet, or the top of my feet, down into the mat to turn on the legs. My belly is pulling up and in. I'm going to feel my shoulder blades pull together to lift myself into that little baby swan. And now I want you to imagine that someone is going to pick up that left elbow towards the ceiling. I'm going to push down into my right hand to get a bit of rotation in the upper body, and then returning down. And again, 3 more on that side. Pushing into the right arm, lifting the left shoulder blade back and around, and through. 2 more, lift, and rotate, down, and in. Last one up, and push, down, in, other side. So my left hand comes down, right hand behind the back of the head. Push down into the left hand, find baby swan, and then start to feel that right elbow lift upward, right shoulder blade backward, and down. 3 more. Lifting up, open, and down. 2 more, up, open, and down. Through, last one. Lift, down, and through. Push yourself back, knees come in, and now let's move into another plank. So I'm going to send one foot back, tucking the toes forward and under. Pull that belly up and in, find your plank. So from here, I'm going to be taking my right hand to the left shoulder, down, left hand to the right shoulder, down, right knee to the left elbow, left knee to the right elbow. We repeat, right fingertips, down, left fingertips, down, right knee towards the left elbow, back, alternate, and through. 3 more sets, up, and press, up, and press, right knee in, away, in, away, right hand, left hand, right knee in, left knee in. Last set, nice and easy. Down, lift, down, right knee, left knee. Let's set the hips back, take that stretch, and then coming down for finally our last version of swan that we will do here is going to be our full swan. So I'm going to take again the hands wide to the side. I pull the belly up and in. I'm going to feel my collarbones get wide, shoulder blades pull together. Then I'm going to start to push down into the hands, pick the belly up like crazy. So the belly actually picks the hips up, reaching that upper spine in particular back. And then I pull into my hands and pull my elbows back towards my hips to roll the spine. 1 foot at a time, all the way down. And again, so first find that baby swan. Middle of the back is working. Lifting higher. From there, the belly picks those hips up, pushing down into the back of the arms. And then I pull the ground towards me, elbows pull back towards my hips to lower the spine down. And again, reaching back, pushing, lifting up, 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 up. Pull into the elbows back to go all the way down. Let's take 1 more, I think. Head, neck, and chest lift. Push down into the arms, belly pulls up, and then pulling into the arms all the way down. Push yourself back. Our final plank series is going to be some side plank, so if that's too much, feel free to go to regular plank, yeah? So I'm gonna find that regular plank, 1 foot back, pull that belly up and in, and then we hold. From here, I'm gonna move my right hand to the center of my body, and I let both feet fall to the side so they come into one long line. I'm squeezing my thighs together and opening my chest. This might be enough for you guys, in which case you can hold here. But for added fun, we're gonna reach this left arm. I'm gonna pike my hips up and reach towards the outside of my right ankle. Then I return the body down, open the chest, and again push, and through, and open, push, and through, push, and open. From here, I'm just gonna lift and lower the hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna turn forward. I'm gonna go straight into the other side, guys. So I'm gonna bring my left hand to the center. I'm gonna open the body, squeezing my inner thighs together. From here, I push down the hips up, reaching my right hand towards my left ankle, and then I return the spine back and unwind. And again, belly pulls back to reach through and unwind. Last one, and through and unwind. I'm gonna lower and lift my hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, up, return, find plank, push back one more time. You can alternate the feet if you want here, a little extra stretch. And then coming down, and good. All done for today, so thanks again for watching.